Oaklee Collier was so sick of attending bridal and baby showers, she was thinking of developing a chronic and convenient illness just so she wouldn't have to go. Saying no just wasn't an option. Not for sunny and upbeat Oaklee, who ran the town of Darling's social media and knew exactly what was going on, where, and when. She'd been present at so many events that she'd been given the office nickname, unoriginal at that, of Social Butterfly. Of course, she'd been naive back a few years ago when she'd started interning with the Darling town office during the summers. And oh, so smug, like she had the world by the proverbial tail. Flitting from event to event had suited her just fine. Brides and babies had her oohing and eyeing appropriately because she'd figured she was well on her way to both events. And in that order. She wasn't smug anymore, and she was sick and tired of pasting on a smile when faced with happy ever after, when she knew for a fact such a thing didn't exist. She hit the gas and turned onto a back road, heading toward the lake just outside the town. This last shower had been a double whammy. The bride was a coworker, and she was also expecting a baby. Double the celebration, since the wedding would happen in September and the baby was due in February. Rebecca was blissfully happy with her blissful husband-to-be and their blissful home, and in 6.5 months, she'd give birth to a blissful little baby Becky or Darren. Black. And it might have been easier to stay cynical and annoyed if she hadn't felt the sting of tears at the back of her eyes, clogging her throat. Damn Jeff, anyway. Damn him for ripping out her heart by leaving her standing at the chapel altar. The only consolation was that they'd been eloping in Vegas, so her humiliation hadn't been witnessed by a church full of family and friends. It was one of the best-kept secrets in Darling. No small feat. Thank God for small miracles. Being left at the altar was not an event that would ever have been forgotten in a town the size of Darling, especially not when the bride was a former homecoming queen and the groom was her high school sweetheart, and both were the tender age of 22. Thankfully, Jeff had disappeared across the country to a new job, and she didn't have to face him ever again. She was 24. Young, just embarking on her career and with a world of options ahead of her. But tonight, at the 5th or 6th shower since spring, she'd felt much, much older and tired.